All right, y'all. So I had to come do this real quick, man, because, you know, on Discord, Pink hit me up. Shout out to Pink Starburst. Y'all know Pink Starburst. Definitely a great fan of this channel.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
Love Pink. One time for Pink. Yeah. So Pink brought something up to me that was very interesting, man. And this was interesting because I read this and I was like, you know what? You're right. He said, Rory deserves way more smoke than y'all give him. Bitch was loud about the lawsuit being for the smaller artists, then backtracked when it was thrown out, acting like he didn't even know what the lawsuit was about. Even said K-bots, and in between swallowing, Mal giggled like a bitch.
That's mine.
And after I read that, I was like, you know what? You're right. We don't give this man enough smoke for the shit that he says and the shit that he does. So I want to bring that to light a little bit because we do let Rory slide with a lot of shit. And I feel like it goes under the radar because Rory doesn't do as much glazing as Mal does. When you have somebody as extreme as Mal when it comes to this glazing shit.
Stop teasing me. Stop teasing me.
And you have somebody who seems like the voice of reason. That shit could go undetected, right? You know what I mean? You could see something like that and just ignore it and be like, you know, he's the voice of reason, so, you know, he could slide.
It's like a bundle package.
But today, we're going to look into this a little bit, man, because I kind of felt some type of way about that message. Because I was like, we really let this shit slide.
Oh, my God.
How? If you know anything about Rory and Mal, you know that they had this dynamic where Mal says a lot of glazy shit.
Would you pick out of all of them?
Euphoria.
Okay.
I don't even remember that song.
Rory kind of just sometimes pushes back, but his pushback is always very limited. And it seems like these days he does less and less of that. And I remember back then when they were talking about Spotify, and Rory was making this real big deal about how Drake was suing for the smaller artists.
I don't give a fuck if Drake looks like give me my ball back, we can't play no more type of shit. I'm so happy he's doing this shit. Even if it's for selfish reasons, he gonna wake this shit up.
Rory being an artist himself, I assume that this was coming from a place, you know, of sincerity. Like, you know, I'm an artist, I'm fighting for the little guy.
As far as the first filing action, I'm still with Drake all the way. People, rightfully so, saying, all right, this is all just because he took a L. This is him being butthurt. Let's say that's the case in your hypothetical situation or what you think. I don't care. Cool. If he's doing this for selfish reasons, I still think it's going to benefit everyone in the long run. So I fully support it.
A lot of Drake fans, they took that, they ran with it, and they tried to make this about the smaller artists. Then it was all types of shit. You know how the narratives run around here, man. But either way, Rory said that he was fighting for the smaller artists. And listen, I understand, I get it, I'm with it. If it was for the smaller artists, nobody would be upset. Nobody would have a problem for it. But we all know that this was not about the smaller artists. We know that this was about one artist. It was about Drake. This is a personal thing for Drake. It has nothing to do with the little artists getting their share, any of that. No. If we're going to talk about bots and people that have benefited from it, we all know that Drake possibly has benefited from this. And we know from what came out the other day as well. That's just extra on top of it. Now, we're going to get into what Rory and Mal said about the most recent bot allegations, but we got to talk about what Rory has said in the past, right? And nothing pisses people off and how he acted when the lawsuit was dismissed. When Drake got his lawsuit dismissed, where he had to go file an appeal, Rory pretended like he didn't even know what the whole case was about.
Because I know he was, from my understanding, initially suing for UMG promoting, pushing, and using bots about a song that was defaming him.
Mm-hmm.
Then the result was, all right, the case is dismissed because there's no defamation. I didn't even think he was suing for that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just lost. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Clearly the paperwork that I initially read is not even where the case ended up.
So how you spend all that time fighting for a case, talking about it's for the smaller artists, you talking about things that you don't even know about, and then when it gets dismissed, you say, I didn't even know that's what the lawsuit was about?
I know none of you guys want to give Drake any credit at this moment. I think Drake is prepared to say, fuck it, let me push that red button and expose myself and expose everybody else. None of this shit is real.
Everybody having gated.
Everybody having gated, including him.
And it's the problem, man, I be having with people, man. It's like you fight so hard for a position, and then when that fails, now it's, oh, I didn't even know. Listen, man. Listen, man, we ain't doing that. But let's go to this real quick. Hey, shout out to Crumble Bastard, man. Crumble Bastard be going crazy on X. Shout out to Crumble Bastard. Says, so Rory and Mal show, specifically Mal, these are your thoughts on Drake being a whole bot in these streets. So much to say about Kendrick Lamar, though, yet radio silence from you. This is Rory. Rory, is that Radio Rico you acted like was brought on by Kendrick? Expound. Don't deflect with Snoop. Follow through. And what we're talking about here is the fact that their response now to this new thing, you know, remember, Rory before said he didn't know anything about anything. And now when this happens, it's awfully silent and they don't really have any opinions, which is crazy to me, especially Mal. They got no opinions. It's almost like they had nothing to say.
And while we are on the bot situation, there was a lawsuit that was filed by Snoop's cousin or nephew.
Nephew, I think.
He calls everyone nephew, though. So I don't...
It might be blood nephew, though.
Okay.
Might be. I don't know. Maybe. Is his cousin? Well, I mean, Crip, cuz, you know how that go.
Yeah, but then also when I was a kid, I really thought that Bow Wow was Snoop's nephew. So yes, his cousin or nephew, RBX, filed a lawsuit against Spotify, suggesting that they turn a blind eye to bots, specifically with Drake, with the No Face record, that there was an uptick in Turkey, I think 250,000 streams in like one day or something at a specific town in Turkey.
Yeah, I remember, and Pink said it too. Yeah, I remember there was that raid that one time in Turkey that they was talking about. I ain't saying this related, but shit that make you go,
We covered this years and years ago, Mal. We even talked about going to that small town in, I think it was somewhere by Minneapolis. This was like year one of New Rory and Mal. They had found just in this small town, there was like hundreds of thousands of streams for all these different artists. And it was like, there's not even enough people in this town to do this shit. So it was one of those, they said specifically against Drake, No Face. I don't know how much legs this is gonna have. That's all we know at this point.
So now we don't know how much legs it's gonna have now. Nah, hey man, look. Throw them jokes out there, man. You gotta throw all them jokes, you know, the little tidbits you was throwing in when you was talking about Kendrick, all the K-bot shit, all the bot shit you was throwing in there. Throw them tidbits in there, man.
That's why I say you guys win, K-Dot, K-Bot, the whole world. Y'all win. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
K-Bot.
I'm sorry. I was wrong.
This the issue I be having with people. It ain't got nothing to do with your opinions. It ain't got to do with none of y'all takes, because everybody gonna have a different take. People gonna be wrong sometimes. People gonna be right. It's the lack of consistency, man. Stand on what you said. Stand on where you was at. Don't act oblivious like you don't know what's going on all of a sudden. All the opinions were there when the other shit happened. Now that this shit is happening, be quiet. Especially Mal. Mal just over there spinning in a damn chair. He don't want to say nothing. It's funny how silent y'all get depending on the topic. It's just crazy to me.
But I mean, I think this is against everybody eventually. I don't know, that's all we have at this point.
Meanwhile,
just the announcement came out. Like, I was just speculating of what we knew at that time, which was nothing.
boy,
Interesting that RBX just like
Broke this.
like, listen, if he's right, great. But I just laughed like, wait, this is the most random shit. This isn't a corporation doing it. This is just RBX was like, you know what? Let me go file against Spotify.
Yeah.
And more reason why you should feel like, okay, let me talk about this. Let me expound a little bit. Let's look into this a little bit. More reason why you should feel that way, because you were the one who originally came here and said this is for the smaller artists, and you were happy about that and you were supporting that. So now that you have the smaller artists, you know, going against the bigger artists, taking a bigger piece of the pie on Spotify, now you got nothing to say. That's just wild to me.
He was in the dark web of Reddit and was just searching in Turkey and found all those streams.
Yeah, I don't know how much legs this has, but I mean,
it could.
We'll see.
And I mean, shit, I've always been on the side that everybody uses bots, whether they know it or not. If you're at that level, I think you could be an oblivious artist from every A-lister you could think of, and somebody's gonna bot your shit, whether you be on a major, whether they hire a third-party company. I've been on this side from the beginning. I'm curious to see where this goes.
Yeah.
And that part I could agree with, because I did say this in my last video. This has nothing to do with Drake botting music on his own. We don't know whether he had a part to play or even knows about anybody, if there is botting. All of this is alleged. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter, because if it was botted, all that does really is that negates all the other shit that these people brag about. If you listen to Drake fans, fans and you listen to the arguments they have every time for every little thing, it's always about numbers. So if it comes out that his shit was botted, what does that say for that argument? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Drake going to people and saying, yo, bot my shit. That's not what the conversation is. And if anybody who gets on here and makes that their argument, I already know that you got nothing else to fucking stand on.
Spotify and Universal are in bed together, so
Not far-fetched, but
it's not far-fetched at all.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. But I mean, of course, there was outrage now. But that's neither, it's either here nor there.
everybody's outraged.
But yeah, do we have voicemails?
Yeah, and then from there, they just move on. They got so little to say now, but before it was K-bots this, K-bots that, the bots, oh, he's botting this, that. It's for the smaller artists, but now it's, everybody's outraged. Do we got mail? Back to the next segment. Well, and I get it, man. It's hard to give you a take on here sometimes, man. You know, I've been there. I've given my take sometimes and people don't agree with it. It is what it is. That's just how it goes. And here's some of the comments. So this comment said, man, Rory has so much to say about UMG and theories. Now nobody don't know much.
Like, I don't think Drake gets booed in LA at the crypto at his show. I can 100% see Kendrick getting booed all night at a Scotiabank Arena show. I think that Drake will do a show in LA while people in LA may not, they'll boo him, but I think it'll be a lot of people there that will definitely support Drake. I don't think I could say the same as far as Kendrick going to Toronto.
That shit aged like milk. That Rory has always been biased and he's worse than Mal. At least we all know where Mal stands, but Rory is a pretender. Interesting. Just hearing them cover this the way that they did, they better not say shit else about Dot. When it's about Dot, they deep dive into shit and put narratives on him. They barely say shit when it's about Cole or Drake. Plus, we gotta remember Rory is a white man, so there's that. Yo.
Oh my God.
I can agree with that. They do cover things differently, dive into anything. I mean, this is what they're supposed to do, right? These guys have, some insight to the industry. You would think that they would go a little deeper into it, and they didn't. Said 2 minutes of stuttering over yourself out of fear for your co-host is crazy. Let this have been Kendrick, we would have got a 15-minute rant. Rory, dog, cut this anchor off your podcast, my guy. He's killing the pod. Seriously, it's like he's a battered woman. It said Rory is damn. He read the transcript on the UMG case and made a video about discovery mode, but he has no knowledge or wants to speak on any of the allegations in this filing. That's the part that's crazy. They could have actually read through this. They could have looked through this. They could have talked about it. They deep dive into everything else, but then this, they just look at it and they say, I don't know if this got any legs. And this is coming from an artist. It makes it even crazier that y'all don't want to talk about it. And I think that's just wild, man. And it kind of shows where they're at with this shit. It's now sleepy as hell covering this. Where was that excitement they had before? Oh, man, a whole lot of pandering for salary from OVO, keeping the lowest common denominator that listens to this BS pod happy with false narratives and gaslighting. Cheap, nasty content made by and made for cheap, nasty people. Now, I'll go ahead and say not all Rory and Mal shit is bad. It's just bad when it comes to covering stuff like this. I would not shit on their podcast. I just feel like they just got some terrible takes sometimes. And I'm here to disagree. If it's terrible, I'm going to disagree. And, just like anybody could disagree with my shit. It's part of the game. It was a lot more than no face, Rory. Crazy the difference in reaction to this compared to the Drake lawsuit. Y'all was pushing. Hey, they say this the quietest I've seen Mal. His Drake sucking ain't playing too well these days. That's the thing. He was super quiet with this one. He ain't really had nothing to say. And yeah, it is crazy that they brought up Snoop being Snoop's cousin. You know what they were trying to allude there. They were trying to do a whole West Coast connection, and it's crazy. They said if it was Drake and not RBX, these clowns would be saying Drake is saving the industry and helping the artists. They would have deep dived into that whole damn lawsuit. They would have read the whole thing. But again, they didn't have much to say. But listen, the whole point of this is that Rory deserved the smoke as much as Mal gets. And I want people to understand that. Don't forget that. Don't forget the shit that they said. The fact that they didn't cover this really is just insane, and it just moved right the fuck on. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. What do y'all think about this? How do y'all feel about Rory and Mal and their coverage of this? Let me know in the comment section, man. It's your boy Goods. BigZoeTV. Let's go.
You're too close, man.
This is not a song. This is a revelation. How to get a nigga gone. I need you a man, baby. I don't understand, baby. Pay your bill and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Teach you something if you need correction. That's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that'll really step, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Yes, I'm somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-Pad. Yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga.